now.
Okay.
It'll just start midway through.
Yeah.
Artyom, what's up? Have I seen the quarterly Fisher transform analysis from Tony the Bull? Yeah, I reposted his chart there. I don't use that indicator. I'm not familiar. Do you? Do you know what the Fisher transform does?
No, I don't know what. No, I'm not sure what it does. Um,
There's
it
not.
it looked just like some kind of moving averages on extremely. He was using the 3 month, I believe. We could probably pull it up. I guess. I guess I'm driving, huh?
So it says the Fisher transforms something that converts price data into a normal distribution to make trend reversals easier to identify, acting as a leading indicator, providing earlier signals of potential turning points.
Maybe like a MACD, right? Maybe like the MACD, similar.
I guess so. It's complex calculations involving smoothing, transforming, and normalizing price data to produce clearer, more responsive signals of trend direction.
Yeah, it sounds like
I don't
MACD
know.
kind
If
of
I don't
stuff.
understand the indicator, very few people actually use that. Um,
Well, you can
I
see
don't.
it's something that if you're using a 3 month, it's only fired, once every couple of years. Well, I guess what it's showing you is that uh so the Fisher is the 0.76 the trigger, and it's at some percentage 0.49. So I guess when they cross, right? Yeah, and they haven't. So when the blue crosses, which I'm assuming that's blue, so it crossed in early 2016 and then crossed 2018, kind of near the top, actually, maybe
Well,
a
it
month or
looks
two
like
into the top.
it's above that level on my chart right now. When I just pulled it up on TradingView, like it
Yeah.
just crossed above that line. It's at 0.77 right now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But I don't
Yep.
know. It's at a higher level than it was in
Yeah.
2021.
21. Yeah.
But I don't know what it
It's
means.
it.
So
You're probably also seeing something maybe similar to your CMF or the what was the other one?
on balance
OBV.
volume.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I guess it wouldn't be the volume. I guess CMF and volume, those are both volume indicators. Yeah. This is just price.
Yeah, turning the
Yeah.
ball was supposed to come on with me this week, but we'll see. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Um, so you're showing accumulation ranges here.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to build this. I wanted to build it live just so you could see it and not kind of go over everything. But so I was just so back to what we were talking about earlier with Crypto Llama. He released a rainbow log chart uh, for Litecoin,
Mhm.
and I don't agree with it just because the network adoption, the fundamentals of Litecoin, it's growing at a faster rate than the logarithmic chart that he kind of created, these bands he's created. And I think if we have the data, why don't you just use it? So the previous model I had was looking at into the block data, which was gone. So I had to redo the data today. And so these bands right here, I think I have some of them turned off. That's probably fine. Uh, these bands are total address growth of the network of Litecoin, right? And so you can see that the network itself is growing up and to the right. And this is log too, right? So if I turn this off, it looks like that. See what I mean? So
Yeah.
you go back to log, um, these things are kind of growing uh, pretty quickly. And so I arbitrarily kind of spanned these, oops, I spanned these bands. And kind of what I noticed was that, these two I highlighted with white here. This was the 2015 bear market bottom, like, capitulation bottom. And Then it was kind of range bound between these two bands. So these four bands is where we're at now. And you can even see that this time Litecoin was down at that lower band, actually kind of peaked below it a little bit, and then went up and kind of was stuck with that second one, and then kind of came back down. So the point is that it's lower, or as low and lower even to 2017, right? And then this upper band, this yellow one here, actually touches the top of the price where it went in both of these cycles. And so, a reasonable mind would say, well, it's probably going to go to that band. And that band today is like 9,000. Okay. But this is where this is where most people are overlooking. And you and I talk about this. We understand what can happen is, do we have other data we can look at? And this is like a future capacity of where Litecoin can go. And the blue represents just a couple different metrics on Litecoin's network. It's the active addresses, and I don't know what the other one was, new addresses or something. And so it kind of shows you the potential of where the network can go. And what I'm seeing here is that the potential of the network can grow a lot during these bull cycles. And I would argue that Litecoin has not. It is in a bull run right now. It's above the 100-day moving average, but it really hasn't experienced a truly explosive bull run yet. Still in the quiet accumulation phase, and really hasn't broken out. But you take this network capacity, and we've looked at this a couple times, but we'll look at it again. Every time this network has expanded, very similarly each time. And you can see that here in this cycle, in the 2013 cycle, and in the 2017 cycle, and in the 21 cycle, realize, but price didn't actually reach where I think the value lies. Uh, and in this case, if you were to do something similar, it's a big number. I don't think it's going to go that high, but it just lets you know that it's the direction of it should be at least this, if not higher, into these bands. Okay, and we can see that these bands typically roll up. So you would expect this band to roll up some proportion to that, maybe something like that. Maybe that's kind of extreme, but you can see that it did it here too a little bit, right? Not much, but something like that, right? So even if you were to put that arrow like that, you're ending up at a number that's like 21,000. Okay. Oops. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. So now you're like you're setting this band of 9,000 to 20,000 just based off of uh, that this band here, the total address band, but that's not taking into account the network value potential. So that's kind of why I have these bands highlighted yellow here. It's kind of like the lower end and yellow the upper end of where Litecoin could go. And that range today is like, which is kind of extreme, but it just lets you know that it's possible in this area, 143 to 9,000. Okay. Um, so then I was like, well, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's add Bitcoin on here, but let's divide it by the supply ratio of Litecoin to Bitcoin, which is 3.83 right now. It's not 4, it's 3.83. Okay. So then you overlay Bitcoin price on here. And kind of the interesting thing is that it's also inside of this band. You see that? Okay. So, and and this is completely kind of separate data, right? So this is Litecoin's network adoption. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin per se. I mean, maybe you could argue that they're obviously related, but Bitcoin topped out. Let's look at it. I don't know if I've looked at all these yet, but let's look here. So Bitcoin topped out at that band, and then it also topped out at the upper one in 2017, and it topped out here in 21, and it actually made a lower high. Well, yeah, in the band ratio, it made a lower high in 21. Compared to the band, if it would have went up to the upper part of the band, it would have been 22 times 3.83. So maybe that was a bearish divergence potentially right there. So this time though, so what I was looking at earlier was, oh man, okay, I've been pretty bearish on Bitcoin. I think it's going to roll over, go flat, sideways. Well, okay, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Bitcoin does, reach back up into this range here. This would be a big number because this is 140. So you have to take 140 times 3.83. So that's like what? I don't know. 300 something thousand. Okay, 400,000, which is possible based on historical cycles using the Litecoin address network bands. When I do this with Bitcoin, though, I don't get the same answer. So that's why I'm bearish on Bitcoin. And when I say bearish, I mean just like sideways, down, flat, right? I don't think it's going to do this, but I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know. You really don't, for sure. But I mean, it is possible. Um, I don't think that's happening though. That's not my base case. Okay, so that's like the upper one. Well, okay, so then you have these other two bands, which is hit in the 13 cycle and also in the 21 cycle. Those numbers are a little bit lower, and that's still a pretty big number. That's 86,000 times 3.83, and this one would be 50,000 times 3.83. So you're getting pretty big numbers. So that's kind of exciting in a way that maybe Bitcoin does have more potential. Does it happen in a month or two, 3 months? I don't know. I really don't. But either way, I still think it's pretty bullish because something has capacity here. There's capacity, whether it's going to go to Bitcoin or to Litecoin or something else. I think the capacity of the market is still can go higher because it's done it every time. And I'm thinking that, you as well, obviously, we're thinking that it's probably Litecoin's turn. And, based on these two structures, very similar, both of these, I just say that they're like network adoption bands at the lower end, right? You can even see it swept here, at the lows, almost came down and touched them here, and then really kind of stayed here for 3 years. Meanwhile, the network itself has kind of continued to slowly kind of tromp up, right? Kind of secretly, no one's really paying attention to it. You can't really find the data. They've pulled it on Glassnode, which is like where everyone goes. So it's silently sneaking up, kind of hiding in plain sight, right? The other thing is that we could probably, I mean, you can just kind of draw these natural curves for Bitcoin, and they're pretty close to these ones down below, these network value ones. Similar. It's just not. Yeah, we could hear you, dude. Yeah, you're flirting. Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, you're over your tongue. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is what I did today. The thing that this part though is this to me, this is really the value is this gap right here, and this gap is what is it, 8,500 or something like that, or 9,000, right? Um, so I think this is the opportunity, really big opportunity here for Litecoin. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I get to a similar conclusion. I know it's impossible to predict the future, but I think
Mhm.
the path for growth for Litecoin can be vertical, not just in like speculative demand, but in real demand. I think like I kind of think like the Bitcoin maximalists are sort of right that proof of work chains will eventually dominate. I just
Yeah.
disagree with them for how they define Bitcoin and what it means and how it actually gets to um, a much larger relevant money. So I just look at
Hmm.
Bitcoin as anything that follows the same security model um,
Yep.
that Satoshi laid out and Litecoin does, and then I look at the adoption stats and trends and realize the monetary demand for Bitcoin, at least
Such a big gap.
like where most transactions are happening that are non-speculative aren't that high in value. And I know Bitcoin can only grow
Hmm.
from here not by adding more transactions, but by adding higher average value transactions. And that just there's no evidence of that happening except on the speculative side of people like trading billions of dollars in coins back and forth with each other. So the only logical real growth path is going to be um, for another chain to adopt that uh, increasing demand for permissionless money, and Litecoin's positioned to do that. So they might be right in
Yeah.
that Bitcoin is a, and I don't mean Bitcoin as a BTC, but Bitcoin chains may be worth 10, 20 trillion dollars in the future. I just don't think BTC will be that dominant.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
I think Litecoin's probably going to take the network effect lead after the cycle, especially if we have a blow off, and then we'll become the dominant chain that people adopt as money for the next 5, 10 years.
Hmm.
So
I think
yeah,
so.
it'd be crazy like if we do get a rally in Bitcoin or a blow off like into March next year,
Yeah.
and we see this fundamental demand catalyst that pushes Litecoin ahead of BTC, then we probably do see these crazy, well, what seem like crazy prices, but really aren't if you think about it. It's so weird that Litecoin's priced where
Yeah.
it's at, given the market sector it's potentially going to dominate in
Oh,
like
it's
10 to
crazy.
20
Yeah.
years, right? If you had a future value expectation for all Bitcoin chains, maybe put it like 10, 20 trillion, and then Litecoin taking up
Yeah.
as much
Half or more.
market share as BTC or more.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's what I think is most
Exactly.
likely.
Yeah.
Like, not, I don't care about recent price action too much. I'm just looking at the future growth potential. And every technical analyst, all that's why I don't dismiss it, but I think it's sort of
They can be right in the
misleading.
short term,
Yeah, and
but they're
trends.
they're overlooking the potential.
Well, the whole market's been trained to look at the growth of the casino and growth of speculation and just
Yeah.
assume that's going to
Yeah.
continue with momentum. But eventually, that's going to break, and then that's
Hmm.
that's when fundamentals do matter.
Yeah.
Um, but even in a speculative environment, Litecoin uh, can move like we've been thinking. It's it
Oh yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't take much. It just needs a tiny amount of money on a relative basis to start changing the
Get
narrative.
it started. Yeah. Once it gets started, it's going to be really hard to stop. Yeah. I mean, to me, I'm not. I'm sure you probably see the same thing, but to me, it looks like we're rolling up. The
Yeah,
price structure is
I
kind
was
of rolling up.
comparing it to 2013. I think it looks more
Hmm.
similar to that
Yeah,
than
it
2017.
does. I agree. Maybe let's not look at that one because I think it does look more like. Right. Let me kill that so we can kind of look at it here.
Because there were
Uh,
multiple
you know,
tests of that high in 2013.
yeah.
before it broke
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
2017, it was kind of just, news catalysts and a bunch of people entering crypto and buying it randomly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
price starts going up and network activity increases, there's not really a counter argument against it.
No, there really isn't. Yeah, this is kind of where, I drew this here goes to this first leg, but honestly, I think it does something more like that. Um, and we overlay that over here, it's like something like this. Yeah, and that's much better. That's what I think it's going to do. Um, I don't know if it takes to May. Maybe it's possible. I mean, May 21 was a top for a lot of coins. Uh, yeah, it's man, the potential, like just play this out, I mean, this would, even the network value would probably roll up into this. Sometimes I just draw this line right here or something like that, and that's 79, for the network value. It doesn't have to go to that, but it could. I mean, it
Yeah.
could. This would be the 2013 move. We just drew it like that, you know. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter though. Like, it doesn't matter if it's really 9,000 or 50,000. It doesn't matter. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't
and I
really matter
think
at that point.
2013 and
It's just the
27,
direction.
both those cycles, Litecoin was not that relevant. Now it can really challenge the narrative, even though the interest is far lower. That's the biggest signal to me, is
Hmm.
Litecoin's never been more
Yeah,
relevant or more dominant, but interest is lower
never
than
been
it
more
was
relevant.
in 2013 or
Yeah,
2017. Thank you.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so it does look like this 140, 130, 140, 150, this range high right here. If this breaks, it's probably ready to go. You can even see that there was a capitulation here, right at that price where it kind of dumped from there.
Yeah, it's been a
And then you have
major
that,
area on the
the
chart for
2019 high.
years.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
the same thing that happened with XRP and Doge, where it was rejected in this
Yeah.
major mid range on the chart that was previous
Uh-huh.
resistance and support. And then when it broke through it, yeah, maybe consolidated a bit at all-time highs, but they blasted, well, then blasted through their prior all-time high.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, here's XRP. Yeah. This is what a lot of the XRPs are hoping for. People, own this asset. They're hoping for, this and then down and then spring up like that. I just don't know if they're going to get that. I don't think they're going to. Um, uh, I mean, just like the duration of it too. It's like I don't know how much longer it can stay sideways like that before it just rolls over. So. But we were looking at the 2017 move for XRP. Tight consolidation. Let's see here, kind of range bound for 3 years. And then when it finally convincingly breaks it, is when you kind of get the candle here, uh, which would be, like right here, you can see it, right? So it actually made the move earlier, though, really. This was a big candle, too. So, but it did stop. You can see it stopped there. Um, this is a 2 week, yeah, for a couple weeks or something. Kind of pulled back a little bit. Uh, Litecoin's done this. It really has done this consolidation here, and it's just these lows are just getting higher and higher and higher. They're rolling up, so this thing's ready to go. And the catalyst with the ETFs and the treasury companies really bring in some fast demand. Could really make this thing pop in the next couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, even just grabbing the XRP fractal and bring it down a little bit here, so, or the magnitude of the move. yeah, I mean, it would look something like that, you know. Yeah, so these are reasonable targets, and it's super hard to predict something on this scale and this magnitude to get it right. But you know, one thing that I will notice we can look at here is that the price goes up into this blue band here, and it does it here too. I'm actually lived there the whole time here. This is too solid here. Let's fix that. Oops. Let's go here. You know, and actually came up into the blue here, snaked right by it. Um, yeah, it didn't happen here, right? Just a missed opportunity. Um, but the value is still there, right? So the opportunity is still here. It actually grew much bigger. But I'm anticipating the price to get up into this blue. It's got to touch the blue, I'm thinking, or get damn near it, right? So, and as we know, each of these cycles, this is going to roll up, right? This rolls up. So price is going to can doesn't have to, but can get near this. And to get near that, it's 9,000, 14,000, 13,000. And but these numbers should roll up, right? So this is where you start getting the bigger numbers. I just want people to be prepared if it happens. That's all, you know. It may not happen like this, but it just seems, even if you were to draw just a straight line, which you shouldn't do that necessarily. I mean, the network is kind of growing along that line, so maybe it's not unreasonable to do that. But if you put it like, I don't know, right there, that's 25,000.
Yeah, should
Let's
be.
add. What was the other thing I wanted to add? Um, oh, Dogecoin. Yeah, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You listen? Okay. I was just going to go over the Dogecoin thing again, just because it's always fun to look at. Dogecoin USD Binance right here. Okay. Yeah, so for Dogecoin, we're going to add. I think I need to fix this model. I got to do that someday. It's probably still relevant, but um, the data might still be coming from into the block. So let's look here. Something like this. And then let's see here. Let's do Doge. Just make it white so it stands out. And what I wanted to show here is that there was a gap, a divergence from it's kind of its network price against Bitcoin in the blue for Dogecoin. And then well, we can see that here, right? There's this gap, and then the gap closed like this. And now we go look at Litecoin, and Litecoin has a similar, I mean, obviously you can see it, but similar, gap widening here, right? So alligator jaw, or whatever you want to call it. And the thought here is that at some point, uh, the accumulators are going to accumulate, and it's going to break out and goes up into this zone here, right? I mean, and the interesting part is that Litecoin actually today is 9/11. So in 2014, Charlie actually recommended to Billy Marcus. He said, "Hey, I see that Dogecoin's having some problems. It's like the Dogecoin mining rewards were eaten all up basically, kind of like you see like Caspa, right? So the blockchain, all the block rewards, because its halving period or whatever it was super fast, and it ran out, right? So there's no incentive for anybody to do anything with it. Um, And if there's nobody using the chain, which, still early on, nobody was really, then it would potentially die. So Charlie suggested that the Dogecoin switch to auxiliary proof of work script, S script with Litecoin and become merge mined, and they would essentially share the same security. And then, so you're like, okay, that's pretty cool, merge mining. And then you realize, well, I saw Luxfolio posted today about that. Namecoin was actually recommended by, I think, Satoshi in like 2011 or something, like April, and then it was implemented in October 2011, like right around Litecoin's birthday, or Litecoin's the creation of Litecoin. So you kind of have this precedent that, yeah, you can merge mine, and it works well. Okay, so that was actually kind of a genius move. And so maybe there's something behind this value switch, right? Because miners, the whole ecosystem, you can almost think of it as like one chain. That Dogecoin is Litecoin in a way, like it's the same, uh, almost like the same commodity. The miners may not care what it is, right? They think they kind of treat it the same thing. Like they're just digging the ground. They get two uh, metals or minerals or commodities or whatever you want to call it, and they may not necessarily care. So maybe there's some weird network or some value switch that could have happened potentially, or just it just didn't catch attention. But either way, um, if this switches back, it would be interesting to see because then maybe Dogecoin goes into this, and maybe it's already started, right? And oh, let me grab this because I haven't done this before, but it can be pretty fun to see. Oh, come on now. Oh, that's why. Here we go. Oh no, I didn't get it. Isn't it shift in trading view? No, it must be control. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Maybe that's already started for Dogecoin, right? Look at that. Hmm. That's kind of interesting. So imagine if Dogecoin actually, I don't think it's going to happen, but just imagine it kind of petered out. Maybe it does. Peters out and it stays flat. Let's say it stays under. Let's say it stays under or in this. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's just say it does. It stays under 40 cents until like 2029. And then you and I are like, hey, let's get back on the stream. You checked out Doge. I'm like, yeah, look at Doge. Doge might be going to $36 at that point, you know. Um, Something fun to play out potentially, right? So
There will be other opportunities, I'm sure, trading cryptocurrency pairs forever.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
If this market evolves and actually, I think it can succeed. I think if the individual incentives shift, where people really are trying to avoid inflation after this like trend breaks where inflation just goes into asset prices. Like eventually it has to
Kind
break.
of looks like it.
Interest rates
Yeah.
will go up.
Mm-hmm.
They'll print a lot of money, and it's not going to push up asset prices at least in real terms. So the only way to really avoid it is going to be opting out. And then if that
Mm-hmm.
works and this market develops and the government surrenders, I think yeah, there's going to be a lot of money to be made through that
Yeah.
volatile period.
Yeah. Check this out. So this is another way uh, to kind of break down a potential move, what it would look like, and maybe where it would settle out. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out here. Is like, what does the bear market bottom potentially look like? It's super hard to predict. No one knows, but at least I don't think nobody knows. But you have to just play this out because you have to be prepared, knowing what it could do. And so let's just move that up here. And so if we are right here for Litecoin, somewhere in this area, then it would be reasonable to put the network value model, align it with where it is now. And I would say it's probably somewhere right in there. And, this is where, like I said before, this is an exact science, right? But it's just, I think last time I did, I got 94. Looks like today I got 97. Like, does it matter? No. It's $100 today, right? It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's the direction that matters. Okay. And uh, so if it were to do something like this, then you have to play out what the bear market would look like, and it would look like this. Looks like that. That's 9,000, right? Because look where Dogecoin kind of settled out. Let's just draw the bottom of it here. Let's just do it. See that? It kind of came back down into this where it was range bound before. The interesting part with Litecoin though is like, look at it. It's not stuck sideways for a while. It just keeps tromping. Like, this thing's a beast, man. I When I look at this, it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it does go to 97,000. And yeah, it just smokes Bitcoin in market cap. Like, it's literally a $5 trillion market cap or whatever that would be. I don't even know. Maybe it's higher than that. Whatever 91 is times 77 million or whatever. Big ass number.
Yeah.
People act like that can't happen. Go look at the money market accounts right now, dude. There's $7 trillion sitting in there, earning 5%, right? So if rates come hammering down, which I think they're probably going to do that. And the reason for that is I think they've probably manipulated the numbers. I mean, 9/11, kind of interesting, right? 911,000, they changed it. Either I work for the government. I know people can look at data. Data can be massaged, if you will. So it may have been massaged to help Biden, and it's probably being massaged down to help Trump. And Trump wants asset prices to go up, I think. Okay. So maybe we do get a half. Maybe we get a shocker. Well, you probably don't get that, but let's say we get a half, maybe a quarter to a half. But then we got to know that Powell is likely leaving in 26 March. And if that happens, look out. Like, they might be trying to bust the Fed up, right? So you can kind of maybe see the precursors of that with gold.
Yeah.
And then I saw a chart today that said that, the beef prices trail behind gold by 15 months. So we might be looking at high inflation in 2027, right? So,
Yeah. So
yeah. So the thing is that, so, there's people that talk about, like, Litecoin stalling around 400, which is totally possible. It could happen, or even maybe, like, I don't know, whatever this would be, like 2000. But remember, though, typically there's been these drops, these drawdowns. So if you're saying that Litecoin's going to go to 1,000 and then do a 90%, it's coming back to here. That doesn't jive. Does not jive. No way. I mean, sure, yeah, it could happen, but very unlikely, right? Especially looking here with what we've seen. So you have to play out these drawdowns, okay? And these drawdowns look like this. Oops, let's just get rid of that. They look like this, right? So you have to kind of play, even if let's say it came down to here, you're at you're at 15,000, right? So it's like I'm throwing this one out, you know. I just don't think there's a lot of assets that can really take the spotlight this time. I just don't think there's much. I think they've already milked all those cows, dude. They've already milked Solana, XRP. All the meme coins are done. Trump coins done. Like, I don't even know what they're pumping now. Hyperliquid. Who knows what they're pumping? Sui. They're trying to pump Sui. Like,
yeah, most of those already
there's
had their
not.
moment, but
Caspa was 2024. That took a lot of the shine away.
yeah, there's not
And that's
much.
already done. There's not much, dude. Stocks are at all-time highs. Like, maybe gold and silver could get some people still with silver potentially running, catching the gold, but
Um, True. Yeah, it's I I I don't know. I always just,
It's
for
big.
my mental model, just look at what's the long-term potential value of this, and how fast can it get
Yeah.
there. And I think this market's totally upside down.
Oh,
It's
absolutely. Yeah.
it's like
Bad.
95% of the stuff I think has very high chance to eventually just blow up.
Go to zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah,
Um.
I agree with that one.
With that, uh,
Let's make this a little bit brighter here. Yeah, look
yeah.
at this thing, dude. I mean, this
Um.
is, yeah, this is what I think it's going to do. I don't know if the height is going to be like that, but it, this isn't something that this is totally possible, right? So that's what I'm playing. That's what I'm watching. So um, I think you're gonna get something like this, big ass number. Doesn't matter what it is, just big. Don't worry about it. Like, and the thing is a move like this, maybe it is two legs. Two legs can really mess with you. Yeah, like because what probably happens if there is two legs, it's probably the bottom for the bear market. You see that? So if there is a little leg there, you see like this little pop here, this little stop. That's actually where the bear market bottom was for Dogecoin too. So so if Litecoin just runs right up to like 9 or 10,000, that's probably the bottom for the bear market. Um, at
Yeah,
least
we'll
that's
have
what
to
I'm thinking.
see. Like how much real adoption Litecoin gets versus speculative.
Mhm.
If it does, I know it can increase, like
Crazy.
even if transactions only 2x or 3x,
Do 20x, yeah.
they
Mhm.
can. But if the average value moves up 10x, the total, like
Yeah.
the floor would be 20x higher. If average transaction value moves 10x higher, it steals a lot of Bitcoin's market share there. And then
Uh-huh.
transactions
Yeah.
get equal to BTC, then yeah, the floor would be at least around $2,000. But I think if that's going to happen, there's going to be a huge amount of speculative interest, the narrative changes, and it goes into a blow off, it's super overvalued.
Yeah.
But if it just
Yeah.
rallies on speculation alone and transactions don't move much, I don't know. I don't think that's likely, but then I'd be more
Yeah. I don't think
cautious.
that it's so widely available that I would imagine that transactions are going to fly, dude. Like people are going to be moving between like Fidelity, they're going to be spending it on BitPay, they're going to be moving it out of these loan places, they're going to move it into their exchanges, out of their wallets, like
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
be
on the
moving around
speculative side, which will go down.
yeah,
I
I
just
don't know,
hope,
you're still spending it though.
yeah, but I hope it can steal the long-term users of Bitcoin, which it will, like the
Hmm.
higher value users of BTC, because then those people won't go
Yeah,
back, and then Litecoin
yeah, why would
wins.
you?
That's what will keep Litecoin's floor
Did I
price way
pick the
higher.
right one? Transaction value, maybe that's the right one. Yeah.
Um,
So this is the on coin metrics. It's a little bit different than bit info charts, but I think kind of still tells the same kind of story that the median value on chain for Litecoin versus Bitcoin, the gap is narrowing, right? So Litecoin was like, I don't know, really speculative here, moving around, kind of had a lot of variation. Actually came up and was pretty close to Bitcoin, you know, maybe half to equal. Pretty cool to see. And then kind of same thing in the bear market, real choppy. It looks like something happened here. I don't know what fell off the cliff. 2020. Yeah, COVID probably, or just the bull market. I don't know. Something. Yeah, but yeah, see, this is like real choppy. Even still, it's pretty choppy. Something was starting to happen though. You kind of see it right here gradually. Still choppy, and then that's recent, September of 24. It's really kind of steady. 25, but it's climbing a little bit here. It looks like 27. Bitcoin's been climbing. Look at that. Whew. 109. Cool to see. And we can look at bit info charts. Now, this data is, it's conflicting with what you're seeing on Coin Metrics. Uh, but maybe it's accurate. I don't really know. It probably isn't accurate. It's hard saying. One of them's not accurate, or the way they're calculating it's different. But something has changed for Bitcoin. A lot of variation. Maybe it's around. I don't know. It's kind of trending downward. This data is saying that Bitcoin is now around $55. Maybe there's a lot of ordinals going on. I'm not sure how they're calculating it, but either way, it's lower. And Litecoin's is 200 to 228. So something's happening. Yeah, we can even zoom out to this log. No. I mean, kind of shows the same story we saw at Coin Metrics. This is all ordinals. This is ordinals when they got introduced because the value of the transactions are super tiny, right? So that's why you see these variations like boom, 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 boom. And maybe that just came back to Bitcoin. And maybe Coin Metrics does some adjustment, pulls out those really small transactions. Maybe they do. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're called spam or something. I don't know. Um, but either way, the Litecoin's kind of closed the gap. There was a gap here. Actually, according to this data, it's been kind of close to it a lot of the times. So looks good. We could compare another chain. I don't know, Bitcoin Cash on there. Yeah, Bitcoin's Cash has a lot of speculate. Like it's got a lot of these little transactions. About Doge. Doge is probably. Oh yeah, look at Doge. Crazy, tiny little transactions. Just micro transactions. So
Yeah, I think we're at the moment of truth on the
so
low
yeah.
time frames for Litecoin
Okay.
and Bitcoin here. I need to see Litecoin move up against Bitcoin. It's been sideways for over a month.
Oh, on the LTC BTC.
Yeah, this is the point where you'd expect the largest move
Where's the little thing at?
if we are going to convincingly break out here.
Oh, I'm already there.
Everything kind of aligns.
Is this where we're at with LTC BTC? I haven't looked in it in a while.
Just going
I'm on the
sideways.
hourly. Okay, I was like, what is going on here? Yeah, okay. It doesn't look right. Oh, maybe it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
see. So it's just been doing, yeah.
It's kind of what Doge did,
Uh,
but
yeah, this kind of looks like, this is where it capitulated down and put the low in here. I thought this was going to be the low. Turns out maybe we get a double bottom. Maybe this is, the first here and then be the second here. So something like that. So it kind of nosedived into it, almost kind of broke out, and then a second dump. This really shook out a lot of people right here. Lots of people. Yeah, so I mean, we got a while for it to break out, I guess. But once it happens, I mean, it was just there a year ago. So, yeah.
yeah. Let me see.
The other thing is that, well, let's just do this right because it looks better like this. Let's do this. Index. Oops. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Well, no, it's Spanish. I don't have it yet for Litecoin. And we need to get on the weekly here. Oops. Yeah, and this is the LTC BTC pair, and there's, I think, a lot of traders, a lot of people, or whatever, analysts, whoever, just looking at data, they don't go back and they don't see the full picture. But this thing's been stuck in a channel here for some time. Uh, Pretty clean here. You can kind of see it probably like right there. Yeah. So definitely been in a downward channel. And this is LTC BTC. I think I have something here we can look at. Yeah, LTC BTC network map. This isn't. Yeah, yeah. So this represents just the same network value earlier of like potential capacity here of the chain, what it can grow into. I mean, it's already kind of doing this ratio, but it's it kind of shows you what it could do, and this divergence here. Um, and again, this should crawl up on some percentage, from here if it does. So maybe it's here. I don't know. Maybe it's there. Um, it's probably like right here. Maybe it would just shoot up into here. And these are big numbers. And what you can do is you can just take LPC supply, oops, divided by BTC supply. Yeah, come on. Oh, that's not right. Let's put it in here. Supply, BTC supply. That. Oh, I need to go the other way. Yeah, we got to go the other way. We need the quarter. We need the quarter. Did I have that in there? Oh, I deleted it. Okay, so let's do this here. Like this. Okay. Yeah. So if the network value were to go above this 0.26 line, Litecoin would flip Bitcoin in market cap. Okay. Yeah. Something like that. Whatever. So this is definitely something that can happen this cycle. Absolutely. Now, will price catch up to that? And what would it look like if it did that? I mean, if this thing is putting in if it's being used more than Bitcoin, then it becomes the dominant Bitcoin chain in a way. And let's just say it's up in here. So this would have a market cap of, I don't know, 3/4, or no, sorry, 1 point. I mean, I guess it'd be double. Yeah, I guess it'd be double, right? Yeah, if it was 0.5. So is that right? Yeah, because if Litecoin's price was equal, it'd be equal to it. So yeah, it'd be higher. So the potential here for this thing just to rip, like even just get back to where it was before, it's still undervalued. Like you still have this, like it's still undervalued. I think you're gonna get something like this. It's just gonna go and go, and people are gonna go, "What is this thing? What is it?" And I'm gonna keep asking, like, "What is Litecoin?" Until they get to the answer. It's like it's a better Bitcoin. I mean, that's a crazy number. I mean, this would shock the world. I mean, even anything up into here would shock the world. I mean, even if back to the highs. Here's the thing: it's actually increased in value since back here in 2013, right? So it's kind of a step change. It's 0.04, 0.1. Uh, and this thing this thing has continued to go this way, right? You just kind of pick the middle of that. It's trending to surpass Bitcoin 2029. Like I think you got to front run that. You got to price that in. This potential here. It is a better Bitcoin. Like in my opinion, from a protocol level, from usability, from adoption. It's widely available, just works. Like it's the most reliable coin, most has the most precise block times, and then there's other narratives around it with the Dogecoin merge mining, like plus a couple others if you pay attention. So, I mean, this thing is just set up, dude. It's such a beast. And it was crazy is the sentiment. You talked about sentiment. Its sentiment is so terrible on Litecoin. Nobody wants to own it. And that's
Yeah, the funny
exactly
thing
when you
for
should
me
own
is
it.
how everyone associates all these qualities of Bitcoin with just BTC, but
Yeah.
not LTC. It's like seen as something else.
It's like, oh, you got shot 256. Oh, big whoop. Like, dude, I got script. Like, what's the
It's just a
difference? I
different
mean,
chain history with different holders, but
mhm.
its
Yeah.
network effects are, well, like, yeah, 50% of Bitcoins and users, but probably like 10% or 5% of Bitcoin in like total real economic volume happening on the chain. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take much to pass it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, this is just art when I look at this thing. Even, back here, they actually converged. They converged at the lows here in 2017 and then diverged, right? So it's you should own something in Litecoin because it's the potential is there. Like people spouting that they shouldn't own any of it, it's kind of ridiculous. Like Ben Cowan, I mean, he's got to be joking. I've seen a lot of his analysis. He's familiar with the double bottoms on these altcoins, so he knows about it. He's looked at them. He doesn't mention Litecoin potentially double bottoming, but it looks like it, right? I mean, look at this thing. Um, I don't know, rounded top, double bottom. Looks like it's could be happening, just like that, right? So it's definitely climbing up. It's happened here before, rolling up. But it got shut down in the last cycle. Or no, that was the pre-halving run up, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, so that's the other thing that we're not looking at here. We should probably look at is I don't know if I have one. I have something. What do I have? Let's look at it. I don't know what it is. Does it say Bitcoin Litecoin? I don't know what that says. Oh, Bitcoin halving. Okay, interesting. Oh, Bitcoin halving. What's the other one? Bitcoin halving. Oh, Litecoin halving events. Okay, let's try that. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that Litecoin has is that it's halving. We're a little more than 2 years away, or a little less, sorry, 2 years away. So let's just do this. Let's put where the next halving would be. Oops. Not exact, but close. Actually, I think we're probably going to get in. It'll be probably in July. So let's just put like the 12th. Um, Here's the other thing that you have to start pricing in. Historically, it's been really good to buy Litecoin 12 months before the halving. Okay. So 12 months before the halving, that's July 26. And maybe you do June because you want to be kind of ahead of everybody else if they know about it. Would be June. You're not that far away. Like, we're not that far away. So maybe the time to enter before the halving was actually here, and that's the low. Okay. So if that's the case, this thing, maybe we get to here like this, these bigger ass numbers. So maybe we don't really, I mean, it's hard saying, but by 27, especially if this bull run does go into, maybe this bull run continues because Bitcoin really isn't going to have a blow up top, with all the ETF flows. It's like it's becoming a part of the stock market in a sense. And I've been thinking about this that, because I've got in my calendar, hey, you need to enter, really heavy into Litecoin June of 26. Man, it's already 9/11 on 2025, So what is that? 9 months away? 9 months away. It's one of the best times to buy Litecoin, right?
Well,
It's
yeah, historically, but not if we're in a
yeah,
massive mania run
yeah,
before then.
yeah.
But you
But from
could
here
get
you gotta
that
you gotta
narrative.
strategize, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
But there's a bullish catalyst coming for Litecoin. Like if it just stayed sideways, like that narrative's coming, So the risk to reward of entering now 9 months before that is, in my mind, with where it's at, is just ridiculously such a good opportunity, So
yeah, I
like I'm not
mean,
sitting in cash waiting for the 1 year before the halving.
no, I think it's probably the biggest opportunity. If Bitcoin's going to actually succeed on its value prop, buying Litecoin here, given the network effect lead, is like the biggest
Hmm.
opportunity probably in people's lifetimes. There won't.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah, yeah.
monetary regimes change often. It's like a once in a
Hmm.
100+ year event, or maybe not even then, right? Like gold lasted for a long time as money. Uh,
Hmm.
this this won't probably happen again in our lifetimes. If
Yeah.
Bitcoin succeeds, it's still a big if, but I think if it does succeed in the way I imagine it to, like actually where people adopt it and reject dollars or other types of government money. Yeah, Litecoin will
Hmm.
likely, based on what it's already done with very little monetary demand, will become equal in network value and price to BTC or more. So
Yeah.
it's just the market's a popularity contest right now, and it doesn't even know what permissionless. It doesn't know anything really about Bitcoin. It hasn't been forced to learn yet. It's just been forced to, kind of do the opposite of what a good investor would do. Is look for first understand what you're buying, then understand the total market cap potential, calculate risk reward based on some fundamental analysis. But everyone participating is just first not even understanding what they're buying, even people like Sailor. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. This is probably
It's
gonna be
sad, I
yeah, it's
think.
sad. It's
Yeah.
crazy. This market is
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it.
it's representative of kind of like broader cultural degradation and dumbing down, I think, of the
Yeah.
population and short-term incentives,
Yeah.
just all these Ponzi schemes.
Hmm.
And super corrupt kind of. I don't know if it's corrupt, but kind of shady like pump and dump
Shady. Yeah.
operations, false marketing, people selling lies, all over the place.
Yeah. The other thing that's fascinating with this chart, is that, see how I drew that channel out to the left and to the right? Isn't that odd? It's almost like, look, the price of the yellow, when it first was created, up and to the right, and then I don't know what happened, if it was that Charlie selling really kind of knocked the piss out of Litecoin or what, or if it just kind of fell out of, maybe that plus a couple other things. is the way it ran up so hard. Maybe that was a combination with that, and then the Dogecoin thing um, really kind of put it in this nosedive that we see now. But it's kind of weird when you draw that channel. It's the blue is like right in there. I mean, the bottoms of it and the tops, and you seen that? Like it this top would be that's an ellipse. I don't want that. I want a circle. Something like just get it close. It doesn't have to be exact. And this was, oops, this was the what is go? Oh, is that yeah, it is how I had. Okay, um, this was the ordinals. The ordinals little spike. Happened in 23 or whenever that was. When was that? I thought it was 23. Yeah, December of 20. Yeah, that's right. Because when ordinals came out, like 23, and then Litecoin got it like a couple months later. Um, so again, it kind of shows you what the network value could go pretty easily. And then, just drawing this out, maybe this is a little bit longer in 2026, but I mean, you can kind of envision what this would look like. It's a big ass number, 0.88, right? So that would be, what is that telling me? That Litecoin's price would be 0.88 of Bitcoins? Yeah, that's what it's telling me. Yeah, so if let's say so we just take 0.88 of 100, so it'd be like 80,000. Yeah, and Bitcoin would be at 100,000. Like I think that's what that's telling me. Yeah, it would be exactly.
But what does this blue
That's a
line
big
even
ass.
represent? Like
It's
total
the ratio of
transactions, or is it like
yeah of
then
it's
compared to
the
price?
yeah it's yeah. So it's the rate. So if Litecoin is doing equal to Bitcoin's transactions, then it
Like
has the
one to
same
one.
price.
Yeah.
But then it's divided by the supply
We
ratio of
should. I wish we
3.8.
could weight it by average size of those transactions, because that's really
We
what
can't
I would
because we
do.
don't have the data.
Because then it would be a
I
more
agree.
complete picture, or just like total
It
adjusted
would be,
value
yeah.
sent on chain. If somehow we could
Yeah.
get bitcoins,
Well, I
because
did that a
it's
little bit. Yeah.
so.
Remember I did that. Remember I'll show you this chart. Uh, Here, let's see if I can find it. Hopefully this is all good. Yeah, probably. Let me turn that off. Okay, so let's do that real quick because I'll show it to you. No, no, right here. Media. Yeah, I kind of did that. Tried to. I used the median value right here. So I took Bitcoin and Litecoin median values times its daily transaction. So I kind of called this a median daily transaction volume. And so that the blue, obviously blue is Litecoin. And this number was around, gosh, I don't even remember what it was, but I guess it's probably like 7 million maybe. Keep in mind, this number doesn't really matter. It's like number of transactions. So like it's 200,000 times the median, which all the transactions weren't that, but it still gives you a way to compare apples to apples. So let's just say it was 200,000 times $20. And this one was, let's say it was, I don't know, 600,000, 500,000, 400,000 times $100. So Bitcoin has been, yeah, sure, it was being used, adopted pretty quickly. Price ran up to 2017. It really hasn't, it's kind of hasn't just been sideways. It's been sideways since 2017. But Litecoin, it's gained. Maybe, I guess compared to 2017, that bull run, it was so speculative and so quick that it's kind of back to where it was. But the gap between Bitcoin and Litecoin, there's no gap. See the gap here? It's like, well, there was no gap here. Notice that. Really, there's no gap. Gap, gap, a little bit of a gap, but it can close the distance. But it's definitely closed it here. So this is kind of this is taking data from Coinmetrics. You can grab that data, and I threw it into Excel and made a chart. And this is just like I said, I just took total transactions per day times the median value. And the reason we have to do the median is because of get rid of the ordinals, and then also because of the MWeb carryover issue on Litecoin. Because those Litecoin get pegged into the Hogger address, and they carry over each block. So every block that Litecoin gets moved into the into a new UTXO. So if you don't know that, when you go look at the volume USD, it's saying like Litecoin's moving, I don't know, 12 billion or 13 billion or something like that. So it's not right. And so the median would shed that because it takes out the outliers. You don't want to use the mean. The mean includes the all of them. So it's the same with the average. Obviously, yeah. If you go look at bit info charts, I'm not gonna look at it, but if uh, if you go look at bit info charts, it shows the average is like 200,000 or whatever it is. I don't know. It's not right. So yeah. That's probably all I got, unless you want to look at maybe XRP again or something, but you have to change the title of the stream to get more people in here for XRP.
Oh, yeah. People would. People might believe me. I could just never say anything I don't believe, and then if I attracted XRP people in here, they just argue, get mad.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm good. I appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
We'll see if this
absolutely.
short-term price action can result in a
We're at
breakout. We're just
115.
like grinding
Yeah,
around
kind of
here.
stuck. Hmm. Oh, let's look at the rate real quick and I'll get off.
Okay.
Let's look at the XPR fee rate. Did that ever come back down and stay down, or let's take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, because this was kind of interesting. This fee rate for XRP. Maybe that's telling us something here, perhaps. Oops. Come on. I don't know. Kind of weird. That would suck. And that would it kind of goes with sentiment. And they would, and, a lot of people would be trapped, unfortunately. But they give you. See, here's the thing about the crypto market is like if you're on X, like you're ahead of everybody else. It's kind of unfair, really. So, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it sneaks out and they get something, but that's it. If they get it, that's it, I think. So it's like be prepared. If you get a little bump out of here, I don't know, man. I'd be looking to get out. Especially with two X's. What's two X? So $6, man. If it got to six, we'll see. Um, XRP network value model here. Let's take that away. Let's go look at this. Let's just look at, oh yeah, new addresses. That's the one that just comes up lower so you can see it. Yeah, it just still looks, really hasn't changed per se. Um, Come on. But that's what I'd be watching right there. So if this loses momentum, which it probably already has, then yeah, look to exit. And that's happened before too. So this isn't the first time. Dude, my mouse is not clicking on there. Okay, here we go. So look at that. Yeah. I think that's the most likely scenario. Momentum, which it probably already had. Maybe the angle on this one was a little bit sharper, a little more aggressive, So, but either way, it's the same kind of thing. I mean, the naked eye, you kind of see that pretty easily. I guess what some people are hoping for is just maybe another leg up, but I'm just not seeing that yet. Uh, and maybe that fee is telling us that the the adoption is just slowing. So, especially you're at resistance here too. So, I mean, would you rather own this? Like, I don't know the fascination with this coin. Okay, it broke out early. Yeah, well, it's time to scale out, fellas. Um, I mean, especially when you got Litecoin sitting here that's, I mean, this is absolutely just ridiculous. So,
Yep.
not financial advice, but just comparing the two, and it's even just a different structure. It's like an ascending triangle, and you're at the lows here. I mean, even if you want to just get the 2 or 3x, it's like, man, it seems like I mean, look at that. So you haven't even broke out yet. You haven't even, this little move here, this nice move for XRP, this is going to probably happen up in here, you know, like that move would happen in here. So you're seeing something that would this move up here, right, is what would likely happen. I think. I mean, yeah, maybe this is the same move here, and maybe that's stuck. Maybe they both get stuck there. I just think Litecoin punches through because it's so undervalued, you know. And this is XRP's network value model, by the way, against Bitcoin. So it's straight up new addresses for XRP compared to Bitcoin new addresses times Bitcoin price, adjusted for supply. Because XRP has fixed supply, you can kind of treat Bitcoin as fixed supply, circulating supply. And the model may actually look at Bitcoin's actual supply. It probably does. So it does adjust, but the difference is so small it doesn't really matter at this point. The point is that XRP is over its network value model, and this the active address for new address one, and then Litecoin is under the model. Like so it's just so I guess you have to ask yourself, you still want to hold this coin for maybe a 2x. You're not seeing it in network adoption, so um, when you have a coin like this, it's sitting up here at 100x, 200x, 300x, 400x, 500x, 600x, whatever that is. I mean, what's 13,000 divided by? Yeah, it's a big ass number. So yeah, because 100x would be what, 11,000. So yeah, it's pretty big. 300, 400,000. So the whole world will talk. I mean, the whole world's kind of was talking about XRP. People in my daily life was talking about when it broke out. I mean, everybody was that I knew. Oh, you got some XRP? Oh, blah blah blah, whatever. It was a year ago. Um, Even today, recently, not today, but last month or two, people have brought up XRP again. And a lot of times you'll hear him say something like, "Oh, nobody talks about. There's nobody on YouTube talking about Litecoin. Never hear nothing about it. And then like, oh, on there's XRP. It's going to go to 1,000 or 10,000 because they see all these people. So it just kind of like confirms it. So,
Yep. We like to follow each
but it'll be
other.
fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Who
of course.
knows? This market's crazy, so anything can happen. But
Yeah,
long term,
it is
there's very few
crazy.
things um, that
Yeah,
can compete.
yeah,
So
yeah.
cool. I'll just show like some short term stuff and then probably end it if that's cool with you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Switch it. Take over, dude.
All right, I'm gonna switch this to my screen real quick.
Like I said, I don't like doing this, just hearing myself talk.
Oh, okay, I was just letting you go because
No, it's all good. Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah.
I accidentally opened the wrong
I
tab.
uh I appreciate getting interrupted, to be honest with you. It's weird. It's a
Oh,
weird
okay.
thing that I have with myself. Yeah,
Yeah, I should next time. I'll note that.
that's okay.
But the
Yep.
last thing on the short-term price action, because we didn't really talk much about it, this was the CME gap. It wicked straight into it. Right, this from Friday,
Is it 117 or
August
what?
22nd. It's right where, yeah, 116 800 or so. That's right where price just got rejected from.
Oh,
So I feel
sweet.
like this is the moment of
Okay.
truth for
Yeah.
Bitcoin here. And then honestly, the price action for Litecoin looks a little more bullish. It's kind of forming this like choppy, grindy parabola higher. Hopefully that continues to happen. This chops around up to 130 and then gets a major breakout. I think that's more bullish than if we just straight rally up to the range highs to take liquidity and then get rejected. So ideally, this keeps chopping higher in this slow moving parabola until 130-ish, and then we get the high time frame breakout.
When I'm doing this, how do you see my screen in real time? Like, can I see it in Ninja or what?
Yeah, I shared it in Ninja,
Okay, let me see if I can figure
the
that out.
video thing. It should be there. I click share screen. It shows on my side that it's shared.
Hang on. Okay,
And you can just
that's
make it full screen. Is it in there?
no. Is there a way to maybe I just see my chart for some reason? Um, hmm. Unless there's a way to fast forward it. Oh, maybe there's a way. Oh, here we go. Okay, I can just fast forward it. Let's try that.
It's better now.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I do think, I still think this was a running flat correction here for Litecoin. Like
Yeah.
this was the top of
Okay.
the move, and then you had an ABC correction, another ABC with slight higher high from this previous high,
Mm-hmm.
and then this 5 wave move down. And now we're just waiting for the impulse, and if we can chop and grind slowly higher here and get that impulsive move with like a short squeeze as shorts enter at the range highs, I think we get a god candle out of it. I don't think there's many sellers above these range highs. I think they'll all come in here, and
Yeah.
then you should see a move it up at least to like 200 in a
Yep.
day or so,
Yep.
right? Like an instant
Yeah, probably.
break up above, kind of like XRP, right? Once it broke these highs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in a 3-day candle, it rallied up basically almost to its 2021 high. So it shouldn't take that long once all this supply is absorbed, and if we can get some
Yeah.
shorts to enter. I actually was looking at open interest in funding rates. It looks like it's coming down, but on the buy side
Oh,
for
good.
Litecoin, like we haven't seen this high of. You have like a significant bid delta here for versus asks within 2% of the price. So it looks like
Oh,
limit orders are just being set,
dang.
scooping up
And
coins.
2%.
Yeah,
Oh,
funding rate or open interest is just trailing down.
that's cool. I
So
didn't know
that's
they give you
healthy.
that bid ask delta. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Wait,
kind
so
of
is the
similar.
delta getting bigger or smaller?
If it's
Is it getting
green,
tighter?
it's the delta just means the
I'm
spread
colorblind though,
between
so I can't tell color.
limit bids and limit asks within 2% of the price. So if there's this shows that there's 44,000 coins bid for
Oh, okay.
more than asks. So like there's a
Oh, okay.
significant spread there,
I see.
slightly below the price. And
Wow, cool.
open like in funding rates
Surprising,
look
yeah.
way healthier than they did before the last breakout. Right, they were pretty
Okay.
elevated. Funding rates were like
Oh, were they?
3x higher last November.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty similar to what happened prior to the XRP rally.
Oh, was it? Okay.
You did have growing bid delta here and relatively lower funding rates than Litecoin
It's
had.
XRP. Okay.
Yeah, I was just comparing it to the
Yeah.
breakout. Doge is rallying, but open interest has rallied back to the range highs. So a lot of it's just leverage traders pushing up price. Whereas Litecoin's moving straight down, so that's interesting. It actually looks healthier
Okay.
on the open interest side. But yeah, that's all I
Moving down.
really have. Uh, on balance volume still looks pretty healthy. It's not moving down. It's been grinding up throughout this whole range. This is like a mini reaccumulation phase where you see a
Yeah.
more significant rise in on balance volume than you saw throughout the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Dang.
speeding up the amount of coins
It's
being
even higher
minted.
than, yeah, that is. Look at that thing.
And then I guess it depends on what time frame, because this just takes the candle close, like this 3 day, and it looks at, if it's a green candle, it adds the amount of volume. Red candle, it
Yeah.
subtracts.
Yeah.
But the highest time frames look the most bullish. It's like a new all-time high in OBV here was set,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not even close to an all-time high in price. That's why I
Oh
think
my
there's
gosh. Yeah.
hardly
It's
any
huge, dude.
supply above these levels once it's absorbed. There's just small accumulators like Luxfolio. It's relatively smaller than like
Yeah.
MicroStrategy, but or just strategy. Now that, but once it breaks out, that will bring all the
Well, that's the other thing too about those
movement.
two. So about Luxfolio and Light Strategy. So the MEIP Pharma, they changed their name to Light Strategy. They have, I think, 1% of the supply, like 900, almost a million coins. And no one's really talked about this, but I saw this on their whatever, um, the SEC page for their company. They have a contract with BitGo to be able to, and they just got the contract a couple of days ago, maybe it was a week ago, but to be able to do some kind of loaning with Bitcoin with BitGo. I don't know what that means, if they're going to loan their coins, or I don't know what they're doing, but they have something there set up. And then Luxfolio announced, well, it's not official; it has to get approved. A shelf up to 100 million, so like the next year or so. So they have the ability potentially to go out and raise funds. So you have, and then Luxfolio or Light MEI Pharma, which is now Light Strategy, they have the ability to do 100 million at the market, be able to sell their shares. I don't know if they've already done that, because there was a 29% day or 30% day uh, last week. And then they also allowed all the, I think, all the pipe investors, they did something where it allowed them to sell their shares early. Um, Normally, I think in those kind of investments, you have to, like, there's a lockup of like 12 months if you're in the US. So maybe 6 months, 12 months, something like that. I think it was 12. Um, they did something that allowed it to be unlocked a lot earlier.
I
So
see. Well, maybe that if they sold shares to raise money, they'll market buy $100 million worth of Litecoin.
yeah, I don't know if their market cap was that high. I think when I looked at it, I mean, they could have pulled out more, but the drop was around, looked like it was around 18 million to 30 million. So maybe they could pick up, you know, 18 to $30 million worth, which isn't a lot, but it's something. So
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe there'll be more that follow them. I'm sure if price goes up enough,
yeah,
a lot of companies will start doing that. They'll all buy the midway through the rally, pump it
yeah,
massively. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. I think that about covers everything. I appreciate you guys for coming in, the 13 of you, or however many are still here. I see some people that have been
11.
here for a while, like Naga and Jackson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good to see you guys, and as well as the regular people, MK, Eric.
Yeah, I recognize Jackson from
Yeah.
X.
Yeah. Jackson's a cool
Naga,
dude.
I'm not sure who that is, but if they're on X.
Yep. Keep doing these daily.
This guy's hilarious. This guy's ripping on Ben.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, we'll see who's right. The million follower influencer or us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we
know what we think's gonna happen. Yeah.
I know
I think Ben knows it too.
I know
That's
long
why
term,
he was
like, if you're betting on Bitcoin adoption, like Litecoin's going to keep this trend alive, and eventually that will result in the speculative market figuring it out. Like it's inevitable if monetary adoption keeps going up, that people will see it differently. So, and when that moment comes, it's probably price is way above all-time highs. Well, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to go. I have
Yeah,
to
sounds
do
good.
something in like
Let's
5
go.
minutes. But appreciate it, Master. We're gonna win. We're the
Anytime.
only 2 people in the world that I think have this view. Well,
Yeah,
I guess some of
I
the
know.
people in the chat do too. But it's like,
Yeah.
it is so tiny. I feel like the amount of people that are gonna make money from this are very few, just like the very few people in BTC early. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how the game works.
Well, I think a lot of people will make money. It's just not lots of money. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the people all that bought Dogecoin last cycle midway through and held it. Most of them came out with a little bit, but
yeah. I mean, let's just play it out. Let's say Litecoin does bear market's 8,000. Like if you buy under 8,000, you're in the money. You know, if it does do that, right? Which I think it does. Actually, I think it goes higher, but it's I wouldn't be smash buying it at 30, 40, 50,000 though.
yeah.
We'll see what happens though. What the narrative is.
For sure.
It might be kind of strong at those numbers.
Yeah. 100%. We'll see. It's going to be exciting. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to be here Sunday. That's when this story will get more interesting. It'll be more related to the economic situation and crypto.
Back to 13.
All right, 13 of you. Have a good night. I'm going to switch this to something else.
See you, man.
All right, see you, Master. Talk to you later.
Ghost Chain.
Yeah, we'll play the Ghost Chain playlist. You guys, we'll just play this on repeat until tomorrow. Get ready for it. Then I'll release it officially later.
Awesome.
All
subscribe.
Right. Subscribe, guys.
Like it. Let's
the
go.
Stream. And get ready.
Wait, it's the opposite. What's that? I don't know if it is.
Oh, some people actually we can play this. It's that I'll play that song. You can tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
They said not your keys.
I do still on the mic, but they want to hear this one. I made these like I don't know, a lot of people are liking this. I titled this Narrative Collapse. I wanted to release all this anti-maxes and stuff around the same time.
They said it was slow, it's the opposite. Said it was dead, it's the opposite. Called it a copy, it's the opposite. Said no one used it, it's the opposite. They said BTC was scale, it's the opposite. Said fees don't matter, it's the opposite. Said store value, but no one trades. Now Litecoin clears what Bitcoin weighs. They say it's done, it's the opposite. Say it's weak, it's the opposite. Say it's gone, it's the opposite. Look again, it's the opposite. They call it boy. never stop. They say it's done, it's the opposite. Say it's weak, it's the opposite. Say it's gone, it's the opposite. Look again, it's the opposite. They say it's done, it's the opposite. Say it's weak, it's the opposite. Say it's gone, it's the opposite. Look again, it's the opposite.
They told you how the story ends, but this isn't their story anymore. It's the opposite.
They chase the shine, I watched it fade. They bet on hype, I bet on change. You want new toys, I want old truths. You count the features, I count what moves. It ain't love, it's memory. It ain't hype, it's history. The only one still standing when the cycle turns to tragedy. It's not that I love Litecoin, it's just the one that's still here while they all scream new narratives. I just kept my ledger clear. It's not that I love Litecoin, it's that it never had to beg. Didn't sell a dream to get me, it just kept the blocks in check. It just kept the blocks in check. They said this one scales, then it crashed by noon. They promised deals and yields, but couldn't clear a room. I don't need a million functions, just one that holds the line. They called it boring money, but boring stood the test of time. You can't see the forest when you're clinging to a branch. You call it innovation, I just call it second chance. When the lights go out and the VCs run, what you're left with is what you run on. It's not that I love Litecoin, it's just the signal in the noise. While they dressed up coins in costumes, I just watch them sell their voice. It's not that I love Litecoin, it's that I know it lasts. When the market clears the liars, this chain still clears the past. This chain still clears the past.
Used to send it for change, now you save it for silence. The block is full, your transaction dropped. Fee so high, broke your dream, now I move for pennies clean. You called it sound, but sound went stale when blocks filled up with private sale. You said it at scale, show me where, I just see whales bidding for air. Used to be for people peer to peer, now it's bids and bots, no one near. You locked the gates, priced out the core, the very ones it was built for. Said store of value, okay then show, but when no one moves, value won't flow.
Block space crisis, doors are closed. Only rich whales in custom clothes. Promise freedom, sold a gate. Burn the bridge, now it's too late. Block space crisis, speed's a lie. Can't clear a trade without fees that fry. You said you scaled but couldn't last. Now Litecoin moves while you rehash.
I don't need a slogan, I need a chain that clears the world without the pain. You maxed the fee and killed the use, now talk of freedom feels like abuse. You priced out dreams and blamed the crowd, said run you know, but you're not allowed. When price to send is random more, you don't own freedom, you own a score. So I moved on, found a lane with no congestion, just honest chain. Litecoin ain't loud but it's alive, clears my trades, no need to strive.
Block space crisis, bids too high. Only suits with bots can
scarcity would save you. But scarcity without use is a prison. You thought value came from price, but value comes from function. Block space isn't infinite, and neither is trust.
Block space crisis, windows gone. Used to move, now just hold on. You'd say it's digital gold, fine, but don't call it money if I can't spend. Block space crisis, chain stood still. Litecoin clear while you chase thrill. You made it scarce, then made it small. Now your money can't move. Locked in the vault, they call it wealth, but no one spends, just flexes stealth. TVL, don't pay your rent. If no one's moving, then what's the intent? Charts full of ghost town stats look rich, but try to trade and it barely ticks. I don't chase noise, I watch the chain. If it don't clear, then it don't sustain, yeah. Use it or lose it. Value moves or it fades. Money that sleeps too long is money that never stays. Use it or lose it. I settle block by block while they chase trends and tokens. I just clear the clock. You bought the top, now you wait for hope. But I've been sending coins with no rope. No bridges, no airdrops, no points to mine. Just uptime since 2011. I see chains talk, I see blocks stalk. They peak at launch, then barely crawl me while I'm quiet, moving still. Proof in the mempool, not the thrill. Use it or lose it. You can't fake demand. Show me who's using it, not who just ran a brand. Use it or lose it. I don't talk, I do. Your coin's a promise, mine just moves through. You don't need a million features, just one that works. You don't need hype, you need history. Most chains peak on the first day. The good ones, they're just getting started. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Blocks don't lie, charts fade. What moves stays.
Say the right phrase, they'll clap on cue. Say something real, they'll turn on you. You thought it was logic, it's theater now. Every feet a pulpit, every thread a vow. They said don't trust, then build a church. Now one idea defines your worth. You wear the logo, earn the praise, but what's that Litecoin actually say, echo, echo, round it goes. Say it back, don't break the flow. Echo, echo, no new view. Say what they say or they'll turn on you. Echo, echo, think you're free. You're just retweeting what they need. Echo, echo, no escape. Truth don't trend, it sits and waits. You post a line, the crowd reacts. They love the mask, not the facts. You used to question, now you chant. You used to think, now you rant. The chain don't care who's loudest here. It settles truth, block to peer. But you don't check that anymore. Just wait for likes and call it war. Echo, echo, praise the king. Say his name, don't change a thing. Echo, echo, fall in line or end up outside every time. Echo, echo, scream it loud, but silence moves beneath the crowd. Echo, echo, noise don't win, only chains that clear begin. They told you to think for yourself, as long as you think like them. You left the system just to build another. Echo, echo, but truth doesn't echo.